Try to imagine this terrible, unrelenting pain in your eyes.
The pain is 24 hours. It doesn't leave.
The pain feels like there's a knife in my eye. Medication helps dull it, but the pain is always there. It never goes away.
After completing my residency, I opened a practice in Boston and at the same time co-founded a company that developed the Boston plastic for contact lenses and solutions. We sold it to Bausch & Lomb. Bausch & Lomb elected me a director of the company. I decided to develop a scleral lens that had never worked before. This is a huge contact lens that bridges over the surface of the fragile, diseased corneas, immerses it in artificial tears, and it heals some of the most desperate cases of corneal disease and improves vision.
In November of 2004, I was an elementary school teacher, and we had all gathered in a gymnasium for a in-service training. And unbeknownst to any of us, we were sitting underneath a broken metal halide light and received radiation burns over the course of that in-service training.
My name is Leslie Mann. I'm a self-employed writer. I divide my life into two parts, pre-LASIK and post-LASIK.
I began seeing patients with incredible pain in their eyes, nonstop, for whom the scleral lens didn't help. And I became interested in knowing why. And this opened up a whole new field to me because I began seeing patients with the same pain patterns of terrible pain, and yet their eyes looked perfectly normal.
I had LASIK surgery in 2001 and the pain set right in. On my left eye it subsided and became dry eye. In my right eye it continued. It was a sharp knife-like pain. So I went back to the LASIK surgeon several times in the first few weeks, and he told me it was dry eye. It wasn't pain, that I didn't understand what dry eye was. The last visit I had with him, he said, I'm taking off my ophthalmologist hat and I'm putting on my physician's hat and telling you that you need to see a psychiatrist.
I began to study the medical literature of pain, and I discovered what this pain was. It's called centralized pain or phantom pain. The pain is real, absolutely real, but where the patients feel it is an illusion. It's generated not in their eyes, but in certain pain connections in their brain. It's projected to the eyes, so the eyes look normal, but feel, the patients describe as burning, dry, like knives, sharp knives sticking into them. And not only their eyes, some of them felt this aching pressure behind and around their eyes, headaches, pain in their ears, face, even jaws and teeth. The amazing thing is they were all normal. What I read about this elusive, centralized pain was what they were suffering from.
I made an appointment with another ophthalmologist at another top clinic, and from there I was treated like a hot potato, kind of passed around from one ophthalmologist to another. They either gave me eye drops and told me I had dry eye, or they gave me antidepressant prescription, which implied that I was depressed.
Over a period of 5 years, I identified 200 of these patients. And in studying their records, I was surprised to note that 21 of them had undergone LASIK-type surgeries before the onset of their pain, which was usually immediate, but sometimes delayed.
LASIK surgeons want the public to believe that LASIK complications, serious complications, are very rare.
LASIK and similar type surgeries cut and reshape the surface of the most delicate organ in the human body with laser. It does not cure a disease. It does not prevent the disease. Should a procedure like this be approved by the FDA? The former FDA official who approved LASIK, Dr. Morris Waxler, is now trying to persuade them to withdraw that approval. Doesn't that tell us something?
We LASIK patients know that we're not being seen. If they don't see us, we don't exist.
Corneal pain is it's hard to live with. It's very intense. And if you can put some heart and compassion around that as you try to process what's going on in that person's eyes and possibly brain, that's a beautiful place to start with.
My hope is that the reality of this terrible pain will come to fore and encourage doctors and scientists to study its mechanisms and find improved treatments and perhaps even a cure.
LASIK complications are real. It's very hard to get help. I've been very assertive getting help myself, but I understand that there are many people who can't. They're too sick, so you don't hear from them. And then there are a lot of suicides. We hear on the LASIK victim websites of a lot of people who have committed suicide, or we hear from their families.
Conventional treatments don't help. Narcotics are to be avoided because over time they not only become less effective, but sometimes the pain is worse.
I once needed boots to get to the top of a mountain and running shoes to cross a finish line of a marathon, and now for something as simple as getting the mail or going to the doctor requires dark glasses, dark visor, and a black umbrella, and because of the additional pain that the light causes being out.
I hope that we're heading in the right direction, that more doctors are understanding what chronic eye pain is, and more doctors will be willing to treat us, and that we will be taken seriously. Dr.
Rosenthal's pretty unique. He's obviously a doctor, but he's so much more. He's become like the pioneer, the forerunner of research.
To the victims of this invisible pain, my message is, let's work together to make your voices heard.